Kane Pixels is a name that needs no introduction. He's the creator of one of the most viral videos of all time. There are more people who've seen this video than there are people living in the UK. And that's not even counting the tens of thousands of uncredited re-uploads by short-form slop channels. In reality, this video should probably have like 5 times as many views. Kane's videos are like magic tricks happening right in front of our eyes. His mastery of camera work and 3D environment sculpting allows him to put out solo work that sells the illusion of live action in ways entire teams of people wish they could replicate. And his talents haven't been ignored, being picked up by A24 with his upcoming feature film garnering an insane amount of hype. With all of this success, it can sometimes be hard to remember that he's the same age as me. That's right, this guy has a film in theaters, and he's not even old enough to drink. I don't know if the fact that he's my age fills me with motivation, makes me realize that I can do it, that if I put my mind to it, I really can. If I just try, for once in my life, I can make it. Or if I just want to strangle him out of jealousy. Probably a mixture of both. It can be easy to think that Kane materialized out of nowhere, bestowed with God's gift to make sick-ass videos. But the truth is, before Kane Parsons was living the life I desperately wish I had, being the youngest ever director of a feature film, he was just a kid making YouTube videos. Kane actually has a pretty extensive library of older videos, and it's interesting to see his gradual transformation into the Kane Pixels we all know. This is Kane Pixels, before the Backrooms. The very first video ever uploaded to Kane's channel is this. And as you can tell from the title, thumbnail, and length, we're in for a real treat. Sandwich is a video I've completely given up on trying to describe, but since it's only 30 seconds long, I'll just play the clip in its entirety. It's honestly amazing how much of a time capsule this video manages to be. It is so aggressively 2017 that I can feel the Fortnite radiating off of it. Think about how many outdated memes are just in this 30-second video. You have the hoodie behind the ears. You had the glowing red eyes. What I can only assume is a failed attempt at Naruto running, a Metal Gear Solid Alert reference, and of course, who could forget the ever-present key to being funny 100% of the time, being really loud! But mostly, this video gives me intense feelings of nostalgia. It's probably because I was likely in the same grade Kane was when he made this video, but it reminds me so much of the stupid, terrible videos I would make with my friends. I would actually show you the specific video it reminds me of, but unfortunately, YouTube nuked their search algorithm for no reason. But most of all, I think it's great that no matter how successful Kane gets, how many sequels there are to the Backrooms, no matter if he becomes the next Scorsese or Spielberg, or even something that surpasses both of them, we'll always have this stupid video he made when he was 12. And I do mean always. I screen recorded the whole thing. You're not deleting it even if you want to. You're probably sick and tired of YouTubers asking you to like and subscribe. But did you know that YouTube added a third thing? It's called Hype, and it's a feature designed to help small channels like myself. It's basically algorithm steroids. So please hype my channel. Or don't. It's your choice, I can't control you. Do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. The next video on Kane's channel is Corpus Schizophrenic, a Portal short film. This is what I consider to be the true beginning of his journey as a creator. Sandwich was undoubtedly a cinematic masterpiece to be sure, but I can't really say it influenced the direction of his channel. Corpus Schizophrenic, on the other hand, seems like Kane taking his first steps towards becoming the creator we all know. This short film is very hard to describe. Despite it being a short film, it doesn't really have a plot. Instead, it belongs to a niche subcategory of short film that I like to call, "Hey, guess who just got a new camera?" where the overarching goal seems to be stuffing in as many cool shots as possible, with little regard for much else. Drop of blood, shoe comes in now. Alright. Ooh, let's get a slow zoom in of the light rays bouncing off the dust. Can't forget the pan over all these twigs and shit. This video's gonna be so cinematic, dude. To be clear, this isn't a criticism of the video. This is a type of film every filmmaker's made at least once, including me. There's no getting around it, we've all done the shoe stepping into the shot at least once. The plot of the video follows the Rat Man, who is a character from the Portal series. He's well known for his insane graffiti that guides the player throughout the game. Probably most famously, the cake is a lie. I would say that Kane's short film covers the Ratman's slow and gradual descent into insanity, but I don't know, he seems like he goes insane immediately. There's nothing slow or gradual about it. The visuals are a mixture of videos filmed by Kane, what I assume to be stock footage, 3D models, and some rather clumsy car recordings. Some of these styles blend together seamlessly, other times they combine about as well as milk steak. This video's biggest problem is inconsistency. Like how some of these shots have these digital camera glitches. This really feels like something that should be in every shot or none of them, because it feels weird when it randomly appears and then disappears. The car recordings document the Ratman going to Aperture Labs, and because of this, they're all at the beginning of the video. Except for this one completely random shot of the car's vent near the end of the video. I have absolutely no idea why this is here. And then there's this very long shot of the camera traveling through Aperture Labs. On one hand, this is probably the best shot in the entire video, but on the other hand, everything until this point has been found footage handheld video. I'd really like to know how the camera guy's getting these shots. The video does do a lot right, however. The music choice, coupled with the visuals, help create a feeling of isolation, dread, and spiraling, which is probably exactly what Kane was going for. And I really shouldn't be too hard on this video. Kane made it when he was only 13. For reference, this is what my content looked like when I was 13.
I deeply care for what day of the week it is, despite me being a cat and it having no bearing on my existence. Garfield, my anxiety and depression are getting the best of me again. What should I do? Screw you, John. Feed me.
Wow. I really haven't changed at all, have I? For a 13-year-old, this is absolutely amazing. And you can see how it started him on his journey to become the Kane we all know. The blending of handheld camera and 3D modeled environments might have been clumsy here, but Kane would only improve with time. The reason I was so critical of a 13-year-old's work isn't because I'm some evil English teacher. It's to show that we all have to start somewhere. The only way to be good enough to make a video like the Backrooms found footage is to have spent years honing your craft on videos that weren't as good. Kane's next video is a music video for the song Decay by Home. What's interesting is that the description says all footage sourced from my short film Late for School. To my knowledge, this isn't the actual short film, just a music video based around it. Late for School, the original short film, isn't uploaded anywhere, so this means we officially have Kane Pixels lost media. Unfortunately, since this is a music video, I can't play the audio, but luckily I found an amazing replacement song, and you'll hardly be able to tell the difference. Okay, so he's walking to school, but he has a very limited amount of time to actually get there. I get it. Oh, come on, how is that too fast? He was barely even speed walking. That's a really cool laser grid effect. Holy shit! Is that a killer robot? Well, it took until he was 12 years old, but Kane has already surpassed anything I've ever made. This video is pretty insane. It begins with this kid being slightly late to school, and it ends with the destruction of the entire planet. It's kinda difficult to piece the plot together, since we never see the actual short film and instead see a compressed music video version. I have to do a lot of guessing on what I think is supposed to be happening. As far as I can tell, the world is a dystopia that is being controlled by this evil and incorporated ass building. They are so strict you can't even walk more than 3 miles per hour. Kane's character, as well as some others, are slightly late to school. Because of this, they really want to kill him. Kane manages to fight back against the bad guys in this really well done shot. But unfortunately, it's all for nothing as the bad guys manage to capture Kane and everybody else in the school and put them in these little white boxes. Anyways, 2 seconds after this happens, part of the tower starts exploding somehow. And this manages to free Kane from the little box thing. Kane then makes his daring escape before he gets hit by the biggest bolt of lightning I've ever seen.
I'm a firing my laser!
The entire building then explodes, somehow. But don't worry, Kane is completely fine, somehow. Kane then enters the woods where he thinks he's safe. But unbeknownst to him, one of the killer robots spots him. Don't worry, this leads to absolutely nothing. Somehow. Kane then manages to find a campsite that is conveniently already set up. Do I still have to say it? Kane then looks slightly confused towards the camera. And then the entire planet dies after being deprived of all oxygen. I really wish I had the original film to watch just so I can know for sure what's supposed to be happening. But as a music video, this works great. The cyber dystopian setting fits really well with Holmes' techno music. The editing is also synced really well to the beats of the song. Just don't think too hard about the plot and enjoy the nice visuals and music. I find this video charmingly ambitious. Obviously, the CGI doesn't blend perfectly and can look a little bit jarring, but I think it works in a campy YouTube video way. It reminds me a lot of when I was younger and I'd watch those video game in real life videos. I swear this was the most realistic thing I'd ever seen when I was like 8 years old. Kane is definitely wearing his Half-Life and Portal influences on his sleeve in this video. The main villains remind me a lot of the Combine, and the robot designs remind me a lot of Portal. I'm actually not sure if this is supposed to be a Half-Life fan film. The towers don't match, so I'm assuming no, but Gordon Freeman whacking things with a crowbar just off screen would explain a lot of the more random elements of the video. This video was charmingly ambitious and really well done, especially for a 14-year-old. My personal favorite part of the video are these shots of Kane and his friends where it seems like they're not entirely sure how they're supposed to be reacting. Kane, if you're watching this, I have a family of 4 locked in my basement, and I'll only release them if you upload the original Late for School short film. Choose wisely, Kane. Their fate is in your hands. The next video uploaded to Kane's channel is It's Nicer Here, a sci-fi short film. This video is notable for 2 reasons. This is the first video to have an actual plot instead of being a music video or, well, sandwich. And it's also notable for being his first video that I would classify as horror. Although I suppose you could make the argument that the last video was horror with its dark sci-fi dystopia and killer robots. This video is a pretty big departure from everything he's made so far. We've gone from zero dialogue at all, 3 videos in a row, to 90% of the video being Kane talking in front of a green screen. It's Nicer Here takes the form of a fake documentary. It follows Kane's character as he talks about an invention he created which allows for a digital world to be projected directly into a person's mind. This device not only allows for its users to be fully immersed in this fake reality, but it can also change the user's relative understanding of time. You can be in the virtual world for years at a time, but in the real world, mere hours have passed. Basically, it's like doom-scrolling TikTok, but in reverse. Kane's life gets fully engrossed by this invention. He very quickly starts spending far more time in the fake world than in the real world. At first, he uses the virtual world to do anything he wants, acting as a god without limits, but without any challenge or goal, he finds this boring. So, he gives himself a goal, recreating his hometown from when he was a child before it was ruined by overpopulation. That's right, Kane Pixels is officially anti-immigration. Don't worry, I'll be starting the Kane's Bane hashtag to get him deplatformed. After spending an unfathomable amount of time making a one-to-one recreation of his hometown, placing every brick and planting every tree, he still feels unsatisfied, feeling the crippling loneliness of living in this world by himself. So he does the only logical thing. He scans the brains of newborn babies and puts copies of them into his simulation, tricks them into believing the simulated world is the real world, and has them reproduce over the course of thousands of simulated years, recreating civilization with a new form of life that has no idea everything it's ever known is a lie. Interestingly, Kane's character doesn't completely disconnect from reality. As slow as time goes in the simulation, he still needs to eventually eat, drink, and do everything a human has to. He still has a job, although how he's able to do the work, I have no idea. I forget how to do my job after 2 weeks, and he's spending years away. Coming back to reality after spending so much time in his own custom world causes him to feel alien and out of place, like he's stepping onto an entirely different planet. He's been gone so long he can't even remember outside of the simulation.
Some people will say that the life I live is unhealthy or disingenuous. That doesn't matter. Not to me. It's nicer here.
He said it! He said it!
It's Nicer Here is a very interesting film about the nature of immortality, time, the dangers of playing God, and the horror of forgetting everything you once were. Its execution of these ideas can, at times, feel a little bit clunky and pretentious.
But this is probably the most interesting thing anyone's ever done in all of human history. When I'm in this little world of mine, I sort of feel like I'm experiencing a foreign hamlet of existence.
What are you doing? You're not the thinker!
And the film can feel dry at times. Kane's stilted, monotone performance is clearly intentional, made to sell the idea that he's been cut off from humanity for so long it now feels alien. But just because it's intentional doesn't mean it can't be a little boring at times. But these are really just light criticisms of a film I found good. Overall, this video is really well done, especially since this is the first piece of actual narrative I've seen from Kane. Kane still uses many of the skills he's gained from his earlier works, such as his use of vibrant and beautiful imagery.
This game is also great because it's easy to tell what time of day it is. If you look at my screen closely, you can see there is a very subtle glare effect which indicates sunlight.
Kane's focus on music also helps sell emotion when his performance isn't able to.
I know I can't live forever. Nothing can. But if I could, wouldn't that be as infinitely terrifying as death?
One thing I found very interesting is how well this film works as an allegory for spending too much time in your own head. Oftentimes, when we aren't in situations we like, we'll imagine ourselves in a better scenario.
I wish I was a bird. Now, say my name. Heisenberg.
Using imagination can be a great way to make ourselves feel better and cope through escapism, but spending too much time in our heads and not enough in the real world can be dangerous. Kane is a creator. He's made many short films, web series, and now a feature film. He has to create worlds, characters, and storylines in his head. In some ways, he isn't too different from the man playing God in this video. I wouldn't be surprised if Kane has struggled with spending too much time in his own head in the past, and this video is partially drawing from those experiences. The next videos I want to look at are actually a group of videos that I call the number series. I call it that because, well, there's numbers in the titles. These videos mark 2 steps forward in Kane's journey. This is the first series Kane's made. Everything before this point were one-offs. But this is 4 videos in a row following the same storyline. This is also a major narrative step forward for Kane. The Numbers series is more what you'd expect from a series of short films, with real characters, stakes, intrigue, and a storyline with a rising action and climax. I'm not saying the documentary format of It's Nicer Here was worse, but it's definitely easier to just talk about something in front of a camera rather than build an actual storyline. Trust me, I'm doing the first one right now. The first video, Collect, is dead simple. We see Kane working on a 3D project while bumping an absolute banger. But then we hear a noise and see a strange perspective. Kane realizes he's a horror protagonist and goes to investigate. And then he gets attacked. All while the music continues playing in the background, adding a sense of dramatic irony. This is a very simple horror concept executed very well. If I could give one piece of criticism, this video might be too short. At just a minute long, the horror has no time to breathe. I think the most important rule for horror is it has to feel real before it can feel scary, and there just isn't time for that. One very interesting thing to note is this comment by the channel Dad, made the same time the video was published. Kane at this point was a very small channel, so his work being recognized by a much larger channel like Dad is interesting. But I'm sure me going out of my way to mention this comment in the script won't go anywhere. The next video, Evaluate, takes place just after the first. Kane wakes up in a strange room with video essay YouTuber lighting, and a strange voice begins asking him questions.
I need to ask you a few questions.
Where am I?
Can you tell us your name, please?
Where am I?
Can you please tell us your name?
Who are you? Who are you?
Kane continues to be asked strange questions, including this one.
You have your own YouTube channel and do visual effects work for clients. Is this correct?
I've only done visual effects for one guy, Nathan Barnett, the dad YouTuber.
Him doing work for the Dad channel would explain why Dad is so active in the comments of these videos. After getting asked these questions, Kane wakes up in a new location, grabs his phone, and stares at this DS-shaped picture frame. After spotting a camera in the corner, Kane runs out of the house and tries to call his mom and dad, where the true horror is revealed. Kane's bubbly old screen protector. After failing to contact his parents, Kane tries the police, but after calling the police, he realizes the town he's in isn't what it appears to be.
Thank you for calling the Town USA Emergency Hotline. If If you would like to direct your call to a block within areas 1 through 7, press 1. If you would like to
This video is even more well done than the last one. The horror has more time to breathe, and it actually feels creepy at times. Music has always been a strong suit of Kane's, and the music in this video is one of my favorites. It works exceptionally well in giving you a creepy, uneasy feeling. The next video is Town, USA. This video is different from the others in the series, being another one of Kane's music videos with cool shots. Don't let that fool you, however. This video does serve vital narrative function. This video fills in the time gap between the second and fourth video.
No shit.
It can be thought of as a sort of montage, with the imagery of the mysterious town Kane finds himself in, showing his gradual acceptance of the situation. What was once a panic-inducing set of new strange circumstances, reduced to the banality of everyday life. There are a couple of shots with major plot importance, however, the first being this flight of stairs leading to an exit sign pointing up, and then this shot of this massive tower thingy in the middle of the town. I've started to notice a recurring theme of large mysterious towers in Kane's work. Kane, I don't know what tower traumatized you as a child, but I'm very sorry. And then this happens. I guess I should probably talk about Dad now. Dad is a YouTube channel that in the modern age is most well known for two things. One is this clip of him obliterating Matt Watson in Creator Clash. And two, this clip of Joe Rogan hilariously misunderstanding the situation.
I saw a video today of a boxing match between a father and a son. It made me so sad. It made me so sad. Because there's this young kid. He looks like he's probably like 17 or 18. And the father's 42. And the father beats the shit out of him. I mean, like, dings him in the head and keeps punching him. I'm like, that's your son. That's your son. And we're watching you beat your son up?
But beyond that, Dad is an ARG unfiction thingy that stars the titular dad, who's an uncanny parody of the stereotypical suburban dad, but with killer dance moves. Watching some dad videos could enhance your experience of the Numbers series, but you really don't have to. The series works just fine on its own, even if you have no idea who Dad is. The next video is Recreational Time. This video is absolutely amazing. It's quite easily the best thing Kane's put out so far, and you can see so much of his later Backrooms series in the DNA of this video. The feeling I get when watching this video is similar to the feeling you get when you see an artist writing one of their most popular songs in real time. I mean, come on, tell me these shots couldn't be plucked right from the Backrooms. Kane is only 15 and his work is already film quality. The video begins with Kane working on effects for a video, likely one of Dad's. His wall iPad then gives him 4 hours of recreational time. He grabs a keycard he hid under these cans that are labeled like it's a Boomer comic. We then get a flashback where Kane shows off his sick-ass color-changing pants. Kane remembers he's a horror protagonist and decides to enter a mysterious hole. Luckily, he just finds the keycard. Flashing back to the present, we see Kane walking around during his recreational time. We even get brief glimpses of the mysterious figures watching him. It seems like no matter where he goes, there's always a camera. But don't worry, Kane's seen the hit film Spider-Man 3. He uses a passing train to temporarily obscure the view of the camera, giving him enough time to use the keycard. Kane climbs stair after stair, making his way into the mysterious tower. Once inside, Kane remembers he's a horror protagonist and decides to walk the rest of the way. He makes it into a strange white section of the tower where he passes by many of the places dad videos are filmed. Kane has to avoid getting spotted by scientists in this scene that is done very well. Kane runs for the exit door so close to freedom he can smell it. After spending so long trapped in this strange place, he's finally going to escape. Unfortunately, Kane remembers he's a horror protagonist and dies right before reaching the exit. And with that, we've finally reached the end of the Numbers series. I found this series to be very entertaining, extraordinarily well made, and I'd even put it alongside Kane's other works like The Oldest View and the Backrooms series. Most Kane fans skip these videos because of how old they are, but I think that's a big mistake. I don't think this Kane is quite ready to pull off the Backrooms, but he is very close. Able to build intrigue and actual terror even from a series as stupid as Dad. Attack on Titan is the last section of the video, because soon after this point, Kane would release the Backrooms found footage. I won't be giving these quite as much time as the other segments of the video because, well, there's a lot of them. And I've also never seen Attack on Titan, and I'm not about to binge a 100-episode show just for this segment in the video. The general goal of the series seems to be presenting the story of Attack on Titan as if you're just a random civilian, learning about these things decades after they happened through historical footage, and showing just how horrific the story can be when you're not a main character. The first video in the series is Attack on Titan historical footage, notable for being the only video in the series not focused on a single event. Rather, it's focused on the whole series. The music choice is interesting. I get a poppy song gives ironic contrast, but I prefer the darker, somber tracks in the later videos. A couple of the shots can feel jarring for a video presenting itself as historical footage, like these photo-negative shots or this reversed footage. I have no idea what the hell this is, but I highly doubt it's historical footage. This video is still very good, but I would say it's the least interesting of the series. The next video in the series is The Rumbling Animated. This video depicts the apocalyptic scenario of hundreds of Titans slowly approaching a doomed population. The film grain effects can go ham at times, but it's overall an improvement from the last video. The next video in the series is The Paths Animated, which is notable for being the only video in the series without the historical footage aesthetic. This is where not watching the show really bites me because I have no idea what is happening. I have no idea what this Gamer Lights tree thing is, but I do know it is very important. The next video in the series is The Depths of Despair, and personally, it's my favorite in the series. It depicts the same events as The Rumbling Animated, but with more emphasis on the everyday humans on the ground. This is easily the best video in the series when it comes to horror. So many moments send chills down my spine. I think the audio works best in this video as well. It's pure terror, the screams of civilians mixing with the creepy background tracks. If you only watch one video out of Kane's Attack on Titan series, I would recommend this one. The next video in the series is music to listen to while inside paths. This is just a music compilation, we're skipping it. The next real video is the ending animated. It's almost impossible for me to tell what's happening having not watched the series, but I know this Titan is very important because he has cool hair. And by anime laws, that makes him the main character. Most of the video is centered around these two guys absolutely slugging it out, until the guy with hair gets shot in the face. Some funny shots include this Titan sprinting like his life depends on it, and this shot with some egregious clipping. This was another video I found very good, it's just kinda hard to talk about when I can't recognize anything in the video. The next video is Portal, Welcome to the Enrichment Chamber. Now, I know this might be hard to believe, but this actually has nothing to do with Attack on Titan. But it is sandwiched between a bunch of Attack on Titan videos, so I'm putting the segment here. It's cool comparing this video to Kane's original Portal short film. seeing just how far he's come in such a short amount of time. The shots are much more consistent in style, and the narrative is much more clear. Every single area of criticism I had for the earlier video has been improved and fixed in this one. This video is so good that it could pass as an official Portal trailer. It's too bad Portal 3 is never coming out. The last video is Attack on Titan Declaration of War. It follows this leader spouting off a bunch of incomprehensible gobbledygook. But the speech gets cut short by this Titan showing off his sick hops. The terror invoked by the sheer surprise of it all works very well. The video ends on this ominous shot of a Titan in the distance with a massive bomb going off behind it. The Attack on Titan series worked really well. I found it very engaging even though I'd never even seen the show before. I think the main thing Kane gained from the series was popularity. These videos all have millions of views, much more than his other videos released around the same time. I can actually remember these videos floating around on social media long before I ever knew who Kane Pixels was. And you can tell these videos were everywhere because Kane had to start watermarking them. I think there's a very real possibility that if Kane hadn't made these videos, his Backrooms short film would have been buried in obscurity, even despite its immense quality. That's it. It's finally over. I've covered everything. I've learned a lot through this exploration of Kane's work. I've often heard Kane talked about as if he didn't exist before his Backrooms video, and he just appeared out of nowhere, shocked the world, and became an overnight success. But after taking this journey, I can say this is anything but the case. Every single video we saw represents Kane taking another step forward. Sandwich was the simplest step forward, but also the most important. Simply making something and actually putting it out there is more than most people have ever done. Corpus Schizophrenic was his first step in both 3D environments and handheld camera recordings, as well as being his first serious work. This laid the foundation for the type of content Kane would make in the future. Late for School was a big step forward in filmmaking, with well-done shots and the mixing of 3D models with live-action footage. Incredible work at such a young age, showing his dedication to bringing the impossible to life with so little resources. It's Nicer Here was a step forward narratively, no longer relying on just music and nice visuals. Kane explored themes of scientific advancement gone too far, and the horror of the near infinite. Both things he'd explore more thoroughly in the Backrooms series. Wait a second. An entire digital world simulated with thousands of people who think it's all normal. The entire concept of the Backrooms has always been based on simulation theory. Is Kane's Backrooms series really just a secret sequel to It's Nicer Here? Was it in front of us all along? The answer? I mean, probably not though. The Numbers series was an all-around step forward, with Kane basically improving in everything he was already good at. His blending of 3D environments and handheld camera footage is nearly seamless this time, and the entire series was thrilling from start to finish. The Attack on Titan series was a step forward for Kane's popularity. This is where his work really started to get serious recognition. He also massively improved his horror skills, with this series having some of the most unsettling things I've ever seen from Kane. Kane needed every single one of these steps forward to become the creator who'd make the Backrooms series, and eventually the Backrooms movie. I have a new appreciation for the Backrooms film after this journey. Seeing Kane go from the kid who made Sandwich to the youngest feature director of all time is a wild experience. I have no idea the real amount of blood, sweat, and tears that went into Kane's journey, but I know it was a lot, and I'm happy that this dumb kid managed to achieve his dream of becoming a filmmaker. Well, that's the end of the video. If you've watched this far, how are you not subscribed? You just watched 40 minutes of my content and you're not subscribed. Anyways, if you like this video, I'd really recommend watching this one I made about Minecraft ARGs, or this other one I made about a different A24 film.